damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, woo.
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
Well, I did it with Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your name. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips. Let me do your hair. What's happening, good people? How are you guys doing out there? Y'all know who it is, right? It's me, your homegirl, Ladosha, Wright, aka Key Lolo, coming to you live and direct from my YouTube room with my YouTube art. That's right. And then y'all know who we have right over there. Whoops, wrong finger. Y'all know who we have right over there, right? It is the one, the only Cheryl Morrow, aka the Hair Oracle. And woo, we got a good podcast tonight.
You're just not populating. I don't know why.
Because you mean on Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's saying that there's an error here. I don't know what's going on. Let me see.
No worries.
If it's gonna let me. Yeah, there's some of this stuff. It's just,
who knows?
It's so fancy. It says I'm trying to work it out and see if it's gonna. Is it gonna let me do my thing? But anywho, we're here. We're trying to make it happen.
No doubt.
We're here on Facebook. We're here on LinkedIn. We're here on YouTube. What's up, Twitch? Twitch been showing us some love up here on Twitch. We got to do a little commercial for Twitch. And then, of course, right here on Instagram. So again, this is I think it's part 3, yes, of our summer series, because 2026, in case you guys are new to the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel, these episodes on Mondays at 6 o'clock are affectionately called The Dumbest. And we do the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. Like these scalp solutions are just, man, there's some cockamamie stuff out here. And our job in this episode is to help you guys with answering the question with how to deal with scalp flakes and itching. That is something that comes up in the summer, and a lot of people have a problem with that. And it is our goal here, in 2026, is to offer you guys solutions. So whether you're on the consumer end, of course, right here, or if you're on the professional end, which is Planet Pluto Pseudo, it's all about solutions. And so it's really been going down. We've been having a wonderful time. What's going on, Wike? Wike and Sandra. Now we had our own little menage a trois. It was just the 3 of us over on Yates. We had a good time last night. Yate has a podcast called Real Roots, and it's a female barber podcast, and I'm telling you, I really look forward to that on Sundays. That's like my little wind down time. And Wike and Sandra, now we just be over there getting all that good knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Sandra, what's up? I see you in the chat. Eleanor, everybody, LB, I'm gonna play that commercial again with your hair. So yeah, so this is the podcast where we're just pure, we're unadulterated, we're honest, and it's really like a consumer, like kind of a watchdog situation here. And we're helping you guys out so you're not wasting money and time, when it comes to your Afro hair. Because we ain't capitulating no more. Ain't that right, Cheryl? We ain't saying, don't say the T word. What's the T word? Texture. Yeah, we got to go ahead on and say it, as my mother would say. Tell it like a T.I. is. It's about the Afro.
Yeah.
And it's variations. Ain't that right, Eleanor? This is That's What's Up, Queen Hepshipsut, aka Mighty Aphrodite. Okay. This is the doll that everybody wants. There was a young lady. Oh, I can't remember her name. She was in the chat saying, I want that doll. If you guys want the doll, I have about 5 of them. I send them out for free from Shirley and I, just to show you how much we love. We can't make her part of our merch because we don't own the rights to this doll. And I don't know if y'all follow T.I. and Tiny, but they sued the company. They got like millions and millions of dollars for that company for stealing their ideal. So I ain't about to get sued by T.I. Let them know. He ain't gonna let me know. But we'll give them away. I have about 5 of them. I know Eleanor wanted one, and she sent me her address. I've got one. And the person who was in the chat, I can't remember your name. I should have wrote it down. I'm gonna get better at this. But anywho, yeah, I got about 5 of them. So I don't own the rights to the doll, so we cannot make this Afro Hair Science merch. And you can call her whatever you want to call her when you get your own doll. But here she is. That's what's up, Queen Hatshepsut, aka Almighty Aphrodite. Okay. So you can name your doll whatever you want to doll. Cheryl, what's happening over there in the sunny San Diego?
I can't even.
I know you got something jumping off.
I know, but I can't even leave the house. They got the street. They doing the Willie Morrow way. They repaving the streets, making it real nice.
Oh, it's nothing. Okay, can we just be petty for 1 minute? It has nothing to do with Afro hair, but just a little bit. How does it feel to drive up a street with your daddy name on it? Notice I said with your. How does that feel? Has anybody ever drove up a street with their name or their daddy's name or their mama's name? I mean, I know when I drive across MLK Boulevard, I'll be like, happy birthday to you.
Right.
Yeah. I like driving, or I see the names with the buildings, Thurgood Marshall has a recreation center here. I like that kind of stuff, but I never met somebody up close and personal. I would, so how does that feel just for us little peons down here and just driving on the boulevard?
I know it's kind of funny because when you like doing DoorDash and everything and it comes up, it's
she
funny.
Be like this. Yeah, she be like, that's my daddy's street. You remember? Hey, if y'all old enough, y'all might remember Fred Sanford when he had the Blind Melody Jelly records. I want my daddy's record. I want my daddy's street. I remember that. That was a cool episode. If you have not seen the Blind Melody Jelly records with Grady, and he had to say, I want my dad. No, that was the other fat guy. It wasn't Grady. It was the other guy. Anywho, y'all go check it out on YouTube. And he was like, I want my daddy's record. Man, that was the funniest. Ooh, that rest in peace, Red Fox. That man was funny. So it's going down here tonight. We're gonna again be talking about the dumbest shit that people say about scalp care in the summer, but we're gonna offer you solutions with how to deal with them. We're gonna start from the beginning as a wee little one, all the way up to adulthood. We're gonna have some solutions for you guys, but y'all know we got to get through the funny stuff because that's what we do here. We have to expose some, trend stuff. Look at Yate. Your chat was trill last night. I was there for it. I was there. And Yate leveled up her game, by the way.
She ain't leveled.
Man, Yate over there. She over there. She having time. You know what I'm saying? She got the. I'm like, hey, I gotta take some notes, Yate. She got her little thing up like she's CNN. I saw you, Yate. I was like, okay. But no, seriously, make sure y'all go ahead on and follow my girl over there on Real Rules every Sunday at 8:00. It is a party with us in the chat. But right before we get into this topic, I just want to say this. Now, I'm about to be real petty Franklin, all right? I saw that what's that thing that an idiot did where they had the that little wrestling thing? He just so skank. I'm just so sick of his trifling, nasty MNF, and we can't cuss like that. He is just so skanky. I just can't stand him. So I didn't like that, and anywho, and the man goes, Michelle Obama, she's a man. Like, wait, what's up with y'all? Now we had our quarrels with Michelle Obama, We love her. I love her with all
We
my
only
heart.
had one little incident
When
when
she
she
was
started
right, she
talking
said
about hair.
the hair.
Other
You
than
know what
that,
I'm
we
saying?
all good.
We love, because you know, she was like, I don't think America was ready to accept me. We have always accepted Michelle Obama and her hair. We're going to continue to accept Michelle Obama as her hair. And just to show you, I have proof that we have and we will, Michelle, always accept you for who you are. One of the greatest. I'm just going to say human. I ain't got to put the black on it. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Michelle Obama is the whippity snap. And Shirley and I, we said it here on the podcast that Michelle, don't say that, because we have accepted you and your natural hair. And I got proof. You ready? Because she did now. I have the I just Googled right quick, right? Where there she was on Ellen, and she said, Michelle Obama says America's wasn't ready for her natural hair. Okay. But we were, and we will be. However you want to wear your hair, we love you, Michelle. But here is proof that America has always accepted Michelle Obama's hair. We love her. No, I wish we could get her on the show so I could show it to her. But Michelle, Michelle Obama, come on the podcast. Okay, here we go. Right here, right now. Here we go.
You okay, baby? Oh, no. Oh, it's just like,
Yeah.
You better give it back.
Can I get a quick picture? I'm sorry.
You. Come on, baby. Come on.
They're the girls.
You.
Now, see that? That how a sister look in real life doing real work. I had the wrong finger. I'm sorry, but on my camera, it was on that end. But y'all knew what I was saying. Okay?
The opposite.
I forgot it was in reverse. But I just wanted to show y'all, we have always accepted, because, you know, America, we ain't got time for that. Nobody care how you wear your hair, as long as you comb it. Now, if you don't comb it, we don't talk about your ass. We don't get what color you are. You know, so anywho, I just wanted to say that, you know what I'm saying? Not only do we accept Michelle Obama for who she is and all her mother fud plucking glory, because she got all the glory. Like she said, when they go low, we go high. So let's go high with our very own LB, whose hair that we accepted as well. In case y'all missed it last week, here we go. Nothing in the world of podcasting could ever prepare us for such a wonderful delight when LB walks through the doors of the Reverend Society Hair Salon. She came in a little skeptical in the beginning, but check this out. Voila. Big ups to LB. Accepting people for who they are, where they are. That's what we do. And the dumbest shit that people say about the black hair is that it's not accepted. Like my mother would say, people ain't thinking about you as much as you think they are. So that, I don't know who that guy was that made that comment about Michelle Obama, but all I gotta say is this: your mama. Okay. All right, I'm project-ish. I know you said Michelle Obama said when they go high, when they go low, we go high.
But here's the thing.
What's the thing?
He couldn't say anything about any white person to get him on headlines. He had to mention a black person. Because I mean, it's so ironic that you think you were making a joke, but you actually used a black person to make you. That's why we've been talking about your ass after that boring ass tacky display.
Oh.
I mean, and there's no other way. I mean, and you got to say it like tacky. Like,
it's like, how low can you go? I mean, you just try to, and that's the thing.
And and believe me, they literally thought. I mean, they actually think that is American.
Well, they think that
there is nobody in the world.
They're trying. They're trying to glorify and try to make what they call, because we don't call them. They called poor white trash. I mean, look at the history. We keep saying that the history of America is as W.E.B. Du Bois says, the problem of the 20th century is going to be what the racial lines, but in addition, it's also the money lines. because it's always been about white men with what? Property. I repeat, white men with property. So that whole display with the whole poor white trash, we're going to glorify it. That is just so tacky that you're trying to put a caste between poor people and who's the poorest of the poor, and then put some race on it. I mean, that's just real. It's just ratchet, you know. Anywho, I just had to, you know, let you know,
So
Michelle, we
they
love.
do have a version of ratchet.
Yeah, but you know, it's
Tacky.
called what? It's called
Tacky.
tacky, right? You know,
Yeah.
don't poop on poor white trash, because y'all the ones that call that. I think everybody cool. I tell y'all. Anywho, but what is cool are these solutions that we're going to offer you guys when it comes to summer care, your summer scalp care. Now, I'm you know, sure, I like to have you set the tone for the topic. You know, every time we do these things here, I like for you to kind of set the tone. So I want to start off with setting the tone, because to me, a lot of the problems that we have with our hair starts in the home, right? But we also understand that everybody don't have a home. So we want to talk about, when we say home, we're not necessarily meaning the physical space or the actual your biological, but wherever you are, there is a beginning, and that beginning can either be with you, because we know that there are some people who have to do it themselves, and then we know that there are some people who have others who can help them. So if you could start off with how to deal with the scalp issues as it relates to parents and caregivers and people who are responsible for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Why is the foundation of that hair care, that scalp care, starting at home? Why is that really, really important? Because I think a lot of times we jump all the way to the top, and we talked about this. You know, we are working on our distribution company, and we had a very powerful discussion about what do we call it? Addressing the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room, when it comes to, you know, working with people, you know, with their hair, it's the important role of your parents. And when you don't have the parent, you know, what you can do for yourself with what you have. So let's start there. The role of the foundation when it comes to your hair and your scalp care. Why is that so important? And the really important role that parents and caregivers play and setting the tone for how to deal with your scalp care, whether it's in the summer or not. But the summer does have a unique set of issues.
It starts, and I'm going to use myself as an example. And I know most people don't grow up in the household with a hair scientist, but I was not in charge of my beauty process until about 18, 19 years old, which means I didn't have proxy or agency over my hair or my look or image or persona. My mother was, right? And I think that because you and I have so many conversations with professionals and natural hair professionals, and these people, as we were part of, remember the Kafeles, Tondo's, what was it? African intelligence, right? And I think we had gotten into a discussion about culturalizing things. So when we culturalize hair care via parents, via caregivers, guardians, foster mothers, or whoever is in charge of us as young adults, children, we don't approach it as instructional. Because, and I think that there was also something that you mentioned yesterday when we were on the phone. People think because we're Black, it's just morphs. And that was with the foster issue when you were in your social worker career. it gets assumed that there is no instructions, there's no proper etiquette, there's no way to approach it. There's not, it's all culturalized, like it's innate. But I always, especially like the last client demographic I did in New York were children. And so, but I found that it was the parents that needed to be reoriented. And so that is a complete issue because we don't, education and an orientation is not quite the same. And education is a broad, anecdotal, theoretic approach to something and to gather the information. And so you have a wide breadth of concept about it. But I say orientation is hows, nots, do's, don'ts, when nots. Okay. And those things are tried and true according to historical reference, cultural reference, or any multitudes of things. But it's also the best outcome for that particular person. It's attached instruction to a style. If you want this, do that and do this and do that and do this. If you want this, do this and do that and do that. It's not culturalized. It is real instructional, and it is instructions. And so to me, that glues you better to your beauty process and allows you to have better results. That is more consistent over time, and from childhood to puberty to young adulthood until you're a full adult.
Okay. And again, thank you guys so much for joining us here. We are live on Facebook. What's up, Facebook? I did get it to work. And how you doing, LinkedIn? Of course, our YouTube family, Twitch. Thank you so much for your support over here on Twitch. And of course, Instagram. We truly, truly appreciate you. And again, tonight, we're going to work with you guys on how to deal with scalp flakes and itching and all that stuff. It's the summer season. And these are the most common things that comes up, during the summer months. So I took some notes because, when Cheryl started talking, I don't know about y'all. Y'all think I be playing, but baby, I keeps me a notebook. I got about 5, 5 notebooks right here in this room. Excuse me. I'm sorry. When it comes to Cheryl gets to talking. All right. So, by the way, thank you so much, Sandra. I did forget. Don't forget to hit the like button. Also, remember we talked with you guys. If you scroll to your left at the end of our lives and our videos, there's a hype button, and YouTube is doing a lot to help us smaller channels get a little bit more visibility and get in people's algorithms. So if you could scroll across and hit that hype button, especially if you are hyped about getting some summer solutions with how to deal with scalp flakes and a very itchy scalp this summer. Okay, so we're going to do this under the guise of orientation. And by the way, you said that includes instructions, the do nots and the whatnots. So that's what we're going to help you guys with tonight. Drop your questions in the chat because we're definitely going to be here to get those questions answered, because summer brings about a whole set of issues for themselves. So we're going to start off, since we talked about the foundation of home care. We're going to show now the content is not about critiquing the people. It's really the orientation of the instructions of the do nots and the whatnots. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. Here's this cool dad doing his baby's hair. Here we go.
So I'm just doing a curly afro because I really want y'all to see how long her hair got. It's just water. That's it. Literally just water. Like I said, we're just gonna do a little curly afro again. A lot. So we're just gonna do like a little. Let me see. So, see if I can brush it a little bit. I like the curly afro. I like the curly afro when they have like a little part in it. Y'all see like the little part. Oh God, bro. Oh, drop the cup. I got it. Here you go. Okay. All done? She said all done, so I guess we done.
right. There we go. I follow him on TikTok. I remember when she was a baby. She's all growing up now. Reminds me of my grand poobah. So again, let's start with that foundation of what contributes to some summer scalp care concerns. So here's a dad, and we see the water is it's hot outside, Cheryl, and we just have to stay cool. And some of us, like that dad, wants to rock our afros, or we just kind of want to cool off. We want to refresh our hairstyles. What does water do, not only to children's hair and scalp, but what does it do to all of our hair? But more importantly, what does water do to our scalp? And does it fall under the do not and what not to do or not to do when it comes to our scalp care for the summer? And what are some pros and cons, if there are any, when it comes to water for our scalp in the summer? Because you know what we say, all in the pool. You know it's gonna be hot. We jumping in the ocean and there's pools. So help us out, Cheryl, when it comes to that water on the scalp for all of us.
I make no bones about it that I do not like water as a styling aid. And I know most people start with the foundations of thinking that they're going to release something in the hair when they douse it with water first. So if you are going to get into chlorine, my advice to you is to do with what swimmers do to their skin. Okay. Swimmers never take dry skin and put it in chlorinated water.
Really now?
Yeah. So you got to do the same thing with your hair that swimmers do with their skin. So the science is that whatever permeates, not penetrate, not absorbs. I'm not using those words. Those are not the same words. And I don't intend to say those words. Okay. Permeate, which means whatever touches the skin is what the skin is going to react to. Okay. So you don't want chlorine to be the first water to get to the surface of the pores. You want regular water. So whatever is first will block the next subsequent liquid. Does that make sense?
I got a question. Remember in the class, y'all, you used to be like, pick me. Y'all remember that? Come on, I ain't the only person was trying to get the answer. So wait a minute. Do y'all remember when you would go to the pool or to the park, your mom would either spray you down with the water hose? Y'all remember that? Or they would tell you to go get in that shower before you got in the pool. Come on, they just can't be a project thing. Come on now. We all went to the beach or something, And our parents, they would have us go into the, because in the beach, you didn't always have, I'm from the hood, right? So, I'll just say, okay. So we had to go into like the bathroom and they would like take the cup and pour water on us. And then we could get into the ocean. But in the pool, in the neighborhood, they had the little shower and you could not get in the pool until you got wet. Now, there could be some other reasons why they did that, but I'm just saying that's pretty dope. Okay.
You can rinse the resins and whatever it is in your bathing suit, because of course it could have fabric softener, it could have anything in it. The key here is, but the skin is a whole nother phenomenon. It's backwards. You want to make sure that the crevices in what we call permeation, you want to know that the skin is only going to react to the wetness of shower water and not chlorinated water.
Said the wise man. Okay.
So let's say if I wanted to preserve part of my fabric, okay, I would put it in the woolite first that has water in it. I would never put a garment with straight water, because at that point you are subjecting the fibers to the metals in the water, the minerals in the water. And you don't want that. You want the woolite to neutralize the metals.
Okay.
Then you put it into, and you're only putting it, see, you guys are only putting things in water to release something. You're not, it's not a styling aid. You're not, you know, and unfortunately, you guys should never use water, then comb something. But anyway, but the point is, so for summer, now you notice when the father in that video, the ends got more straggly the more he wetted.
Yeah.
He should have left the surfactant oils from his last, then comb it before you wet it, because at that point, when you wet it, it's going to trigger all of the little circles, and they're going to go circle, 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 and then you're going to try to comb it out. And it's just not, and that's the orientation, because he doesn't know to not do that. He's just trying to reset a style, but he doesn't know that he's working against the curl dynamic in water.
Right. And he did say, now I didn't show it all, but the dad did say that her hair is primarily braided and in ponytails because that works best for her hair. But for the video, he wanted her to have an afro. So again, we're just helping you guys understand the role of orientation, and under orientation, we have instructions of the do's and the don'ts. So so I think you did a really good job. Now, since we talked about swimming, we just have to just go here right quick. I ain't gonna keep y'all here for long. But what I want to say, let me just bring up a little image here. Now, you guys can, again, keep your questions coming. Eleanor, we always appreciate your comments in the chat. So definitely keep those coming. All right. Okay. So here it is. Now, I just want to say this. All right. And I ain't trying to be, I gotta be petty. Did it pop up that yet? Oh, Lord. Yeah, Cheryl, did it pop up yet?
You mean the Willie Morrow?
It did? Okay, yes. There it is. Yes, okay, yes, no, the swimming cap. Okay, all right. Okay, so there it is, guys. Okay, so let me just say this. I'm gonna make it abundantly clear. And Cheryl, just if I'm wrong, then I'm gonna be corrected live and direct. I'm gonna be corrected. But let me just say this. The purpose of a swim cap is to keep your hair away from your face so that you can swim or play in the water. I repeat, let me situate my mic. Of a swim cap is to keep the hair away from your face so that you can swim and play in the water. Swimming caps do not, cannot, will not, can never keep your hair from getting wet. Whether you put a plastic cap underneath the swim cap, a saran wrap, and keep wrapping it and wrapping it, and then you put a fishnet and no. Okay. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand the purpose of a swim cap. If you have any questions about the swim cap, let us know. Cheryl, can you please add to that? Because that is some of the done. Well, let me just stop. So I'm gonna let you add, and then I'm gonna go through my rant. Okay, go ahead.
The key here, and let me just say, the reason why you would want to, let's say if you have locks, braids, or any style, what would be the reason why you don't want it wet? And the reason why you don't want it wet is because you don't want to have to reset your style, and you want to, but even with people with braids, and people with dreads and locks, what you're trying to do is to be able to, I guess, protect it from the chlorine. That is why we say go ahead and rinse the hair and then put the swim cap on and then you will be able to, because you have ears, and the angle of the neck as it is going with the straight line with your forehead. You have to move your neck too much in the pool, and it's the pool. If I can explain it, in water, especially in a pool, the gravity of water is going upward. That's why you float. If you just relax, your body floats, because that's why at the end of the day, water is going up. In your body, it goes down. So the hair is always gonna seep, just like Ladosha says, it's always gonna seep under as you try to swim, or you're playing, or you submerge your head. The water's going underneath any crevice. I don't care how tight.
Remember, they say water seeks its level, guys. This is not
you
just,
guys,
when your house is flooding.
in the ocean, when to open up a bottle of champagne, all the bubbles are going upward. Nothing's going down. Nothing. It's just you have to force yourself to go, because the gravity is going up. That's why you feel light.
Right. And I like the way I like the way you pointed out, because some people say, well, what if you put the cap, in the water and wet the cap, and you're going to get this suction? Remember what she just said. We're talking like real life stuff, guys, for real. The minute you start moving your head and the hair, even if you have a bald head, your ears, it's going to lift just a little, and that's it. You can't, it's not waterproof. Okay. You can get less water on it.
Soft. Right.
Yeah.
Water is actually not very soft. It will kill you if you dive into it the wrong way. It is very dense.
Hard. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you try to submerge down there, it will push that cap off if you eventually.
Right. So lower your expectations on the swim cap. It will keep your hair out of your face, but you will. And I've had customers, I bought that, and when I got in the pool, my hair still got wet. I know it looks really cool on social media where she dunks her head in the water, but remember, guys, AI can make anything look like it's real. So we're just telling you guys, I'm not saying don't get the swim cap.
If you want to waterproof it, if you want to waterproof it, just wet it, because nothing else is going to go in the crevice of the cuticle layer at that point. Waterproofing doesn't mean wet proofing something. It's going to get wet. The cap gonna get wet. Your face gonna get wet. Right. Everything's gonna get wet. Yeah.
Your hairline, and when you take it off, you're gonna be wet. So we just had to answer that, because I get that a lot, and it's gonna be water in there. So just lower your expectations. You can get the cap, but again, under the instructions is like she said, you can get your hair wet and go ahead on and go for what which is what I do. I mean, I put in a ponytail and I come out looking like go to Google. All right. Okay. So now let's move a little bit more into scalp care, how to deal with flakes and itching. Now, in the summertime, we want to embellish our hair, and we have all these hair additions because we want to, protect our scalp. So here is a video of a woman using a net to protect her scalp, to add some hair so that she can have some more hair for the summer. So let's talk about what this can do. This is a very, very, very popular service. People will come in, they want just a little bit more hair for the summer, whether it's faux locks, weave, I don't care. And they will sew the net onto the hair and then embellish it to give you more hair. Let's talk about the orientation of the do's and don'ts of the scalp under a net in the summertime. Here's a little video. All right, there you have it. That is a very, very popular. It is considered a protective style, not in our world. We're just saying that we know consumers are out here, and this is a very popular and highly requested service to get more hair, particularly in the summer. You know, you want to add, you want to embellish it. You're going to be going on a cruise, and you need some extra locks, so you want to protect the scalp, and embellish the hair on top of a net. So, what are the pros and cons, or help people out with using the net onto the scalp, whether you're going to do faux locks or add hair during the summer months to embellish your hair? What does that do to the scalp?
I'm going to my cosmetic trichology bag with this answer.
Okay, and keep
And
those
we all
questions
know,
coming. Mhm.
okay, and we all know what grows in warm, darker, wetter places, and what grows in those places.
Fungus, bacteria.
Okay? Pathogens. Those two. Well, yeah, right. Bacteria, whatever. Okay, right. Especially now, this is my opinion, just in the video. When you look at a person's scalp and it's that dark, that would not be a summer hairstyle. Adding more heat, trapping, product trapping, water trapping.
So the theory is that the net is going to help the hair breathe, and you can take a comb, and get into the net, or some tool, and get in between the net, and you can kind of hit your scalp a little bit. So that's the theory of why nets are supposed to be good, because it's, you're not actually adding the hair onto your hair, you're adding it to the net. Are you guys following me? But wait a minute, right quick. Eleanor says it's a no for her, but I'm just making sure you guys are following the concept of why the net, particularly in the summer, is supposed to be good. But you're saying this is about trapping heat. I've never heard
this. And like Eleanor had observed, her scalp was in jeopardy. It was challenged.
I thought I read that wrong. I thought she was sitting at the hairstyle. Okay, I missed the scalp. I was just looking at the net, but okay, I got you. I got you. So we have to pay attention to the scalp before we even go there, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, because I can't approach it from a hairstylist. That's why I said, just in my cosmetic trichology bag, I would not have picked that. We would not be doing that. You can get it done, but I would not be doing it. Only because the color, and one of the things that we talk about in terms of instruction, in terms of an orientation umbrella instructions, that would present to me a haven for things that I would not want to look at in September when she goes back to work, or whatever, she's home, whatever, kids are home, or now they're going to school. It's just not in colder months now. And then because the conventional advice has always been, or the conventional advisory has always been, well, your hair is your everything is seasonal. But what they actually are observing, when things cool down, well, the skin does react. I don't know about the hair so much, but at the end of the day, if you want to wear something that's going to add heat, then you get into inflammation issues.
Wow.
Then you are going to get into itching issues, because itching is an inflammatory response. But there we go again. Now, she could use some sunscreen on her scalp. And there are some conditioners we're going to offer that have sunscreen in them for lock and braid wearers.
Okay, guys, write that down. You can use a little sunscreen on your scalp You know,
Yeah.
okay, keep going. I'm sorry. I was kidding.
Okay. No. And so having that extra layer of weight and having that extra layer in terms of, a challenge.
Because can I just tell you why? Can we just interject?
No, go ahead.
Now, if you're watching this post the live, please drop your questions in the chat. Our goal is to help you understand how to deal with the scalps, the flakes, and the itching during the summer months. Now, the reason why a lot of women and some men are getting the hair additions during the summer is because they want to get in the water, right? So they're going to buy hair that they can get it wet. That like there's a hair called wet and wavy. Then of course your faux locks, you can definitely get those wet. So the rationale for the hair additions during the summer is so that they can get wet. So I'm just kind of adding on to, even though you were saying the heat is going to be a problem when you add this hair during the summertime, but to the consumer, the added hair is going to allow them the freedom to get wet. I think the heat doesn't really come into play that much.
Well,
so
but it's going to allow, ladies, me giving you a hairstyle so you can have an activity is not the same as me giving you a hairstyle that allows you to keep your scalp safe. You can do that in your after activity or pre-activity or pro-activity. You can do that, but just understand when you wet the hair first and you're going in chlorine or salt water, you got to come back and dry the scalp with nice and cool air. Just dry it so you won't have the issues. This is the orientation. You're just going to have to do some steps to keep these issues at bay. I'm not trying to give you the avoidance of the activity. The hair is going to get you into having freedom of activity, but your scalp got to come back and you got to do
all right, so you guys, so if you're gonna wear your bust downs, y'all gonna get the little, how y'all rock the weaves. You have to make sure you're gonna dry that hair, whether it's faux locks or sew-ins. You got to get that.
You're gonna dry the hair by default. It's to dry the scalp.
I'm sorry, dry the scalp.
Right, because you got a coat on.
Can it air dry, or do they have to literally take that dryer and get that scalp dry?
You got to. I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna be offensive, but I'm gonna say it like I'm gonna have to say it. If you're on vacation, what do the hotel give y'all in the bathroom?
Towel, shampoo.
It gives you a blow dryer. It gives you a blow dryer because they expect, because the blow dryer is in the bathroom for white girls. Because they know white girls do their hair every day from wet. Every day. They don't do no lasting and all of that. Okay? So, you lift up that layer. You put that ponytail at the top. You understand what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. Okay? You got it on the top there. Boom, 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 boom. And you got the hair here. Okay? You braid it. And you dry that scalp. Takes 2 or 3 minutes. Underneath, boom, okay, you got that. And then you take it down again, take the other third layer, pull that up, back up, and you go out here, go boom. Just dry your scalp.
So don't let it air dry. Do not, you have to dry, because you know what? That's the smell. See, that's the smell that a lot of weave wearers are really. I remember Taraji did this whole thing about she came out of the weave because the smell. And I'm sure that 2 and 2 in the orientation of wearing wigs, of wearing weaves and all of that. Okay. All right. Okay.
And y'all know what the smell is, right? The smell is the same smell when you have food. You know how y'all do with them oils. Y'all got rosemary in the oil. Y'all got, thyme in the oil, rosemary in the oil. The plant is a water-based plant, right? And then you put it in oil, then you guys make the oil rancid. And see, and that's what you guys, because maybe sometimes the oil, maybe you guys do these organic shit, right? And then you guys do, some of them have fragrance. Scalp don't like that shit. Scalp doesn't like oil at all, period.
Yeah.
And we can talk about that later. But
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay.
That's
Okay.
me.
All right. We have a couple of questions for you. Okay. Thank you again. Feel free to answer as many questions as you want. We're doing good on our time here. Cheryl, the question is, will washing the hair more frequently reduce itching? That's a very good question.
No.
Oh, no.
Itching is a neurological message to the immune system. So you guys have nerve C fibers in your skin, in your scalp. S in scalp means skin, right? So it is not, but it's the quality of your water too. Because you guys go on vacation, right? You don't really have the same water issues as you would probably in some of your city municipal water. Okay. But water is most times not the culprit or the agitator, or what we call an allergen. Water is most times not an allergen that will create a immune response, which at that point it will give hormones, transmitters like histamine, or any other transmitter to say if there's an invader. And so, and it's the same thing that makes your nose itch in pollen season.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Itchy eyes, but water is usually not
Okay.
the source.
All right.
But
That's
no,
a
it
good
won't
question.
prevent it.
It won't help. All right. Okay. Keep those questions coming. Yes, you can definitely use sunscreen. And then, yes, so make sure you dry your tracks and all of your wefts and everything in between. All right. Here is another video. We're doing pretty good here. Now, this one is about, getting gunk on the scalp. So we got part one. Here is a hairstylist who's styling the hair with the intent to try to not get gunk on the scalp. So let's talk about getting gunk on the scalp and how it causes the scalp to become, flaky and scaly and maybe even itchy based off of what you just said. So here he is styling the hair without getting the gunk on the scalp. Here we go.
I'm going to take down my first section before we start styling. I like to towel dry the hair, so today I'm using the Dew Mousse Def on her. The Dew Mousse Def will give her hold, anti-humidity, and it also has a leave-in built in. I like to towel dry the hair first before applying, because then it will give her even more hold. Don't be afraid to use the dew. Really emulsify. I like to lay my product and start working that product in. Right now, I'm not worrying about getting that definition. I'm worrying about laying product. You want to completely saturate your section. So now that we have that laid, I split that section up into two, and I split that in half. You see how there's no product on her root? If we don't get that controlled, it's not going to last for her. She'll have to do her hair in 2 days, which who wants to have to do their wash day right after?
All right, he's banging over on Instagram, which, by the way, I see y'all over there on Instagram. Thank you so very much for rocking it out with us this evening. I see you, Nice 0603, Hair Designs 163, and E Fierce. How you doing over here on Instagram? Thank you guys so much for rocking it out with us. So here, this whole coil curl definition, they are kicking this stuff up a notch. And they're trying not to get the product on the hair, on the scalp, because after all these years of slapping this stuff on, now they're trying to not get the product on the scalp. Now, what I'm going to say say the dumbest shit, and I do mean the dumbest, the dumbest shit that people say about hair products that they try their design, especially I hate it. So if you put the hair that's here on top, it's just gonna do what? If I put the product here on my ends and it lays down, it's going to get to the scalp eventually, especially when you sleep. I mean, the list goes on and on. So so give us some orientation on wet styling hair and getting buildup on the scalp, because that is, oh my gosh, I got a video. We're going to come right after what you say about when you get this stuff on the scalp. Okay, here we go. So help us out with wet styling hair and what that does with your gels and your mousses and your foams. Does it contribute to scalps and flakes and all this, that, and the third? Help us out.
No, let me say this. I would not put anything on any client that I did not want to get on the scalp. And let's just be honest. We're style centered. We don't care until we have to care. We don't care unless it hurts. We don't care unless it itch, unless it makes us uncomfortable. But I would not put anything on hair that you would not want on your scalp. Because what happens is that you guys have a list of ingredients, right? And you guys look at first, second, and third, and all of that good stuff, right? When you put something on hair and that product becomes a resin or a byproduct and it wears, the water's gone out of the product. What's left in the product? All of the other subsequent ingredients. It's like color. You can use the color, but as it fades, it still has some kind of resin hold on the surface. So the older it gets, you're going to start seeing the undertones of something. It's called resin. So when you still have the remnants of something, it doesn't matter what you originally used. You still have alcohol. You still have gums. You still have the base products of what it actually is. And so trying to keep it from the scalp, to keep the scalp from reacting, the immune response, right? It's either going to be an allergic, reaction, or it's going to be an anaphylaxis. You're going to start swelling, or you're going to, whatever the case may be. Some people don't have scalp reactions, but they'll scratch and maybe it'll get under their fingernails and they'll have a reaction there. The point here is to try to not use something that you don't want on your scalp in the first place, because that is
not realistic.
And plus you're going to use the same bonnet. Unless you have 7 bonnets, you interchange out every week. You're going to wear the same bonnet. It's going to get on the scalp.
It's going to get on the scalp.
That's physics. That's what Ladosha is trying to say. It's physics.
Yeah. Okay.
Not
so. Yeah. I'm going to be
because one is wet. Once something is wet, it evaporates. All the things that makes it wet. Once it evaporates, you still see the mark. That's the remaining, what we call resin level. Mm-hmm. That still gets on the scalp.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm not a fan of putting water on the hair to try to revitalize that stuff either. And if you have to start all over, it's just no other way to put it. If you've ever, I've worn my hair wash and go. I told y'all what my mama said when I tried to do that. Anywho, but yeah. So just be mindful, guys, that it is going to get on the scalp. But if you're liking the content, our co-hosts are saying, we keep saying, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. So Cher's going to show you guys what you need to do right right now as we get to the second part of how to deal with scalp flakes and itching scalp. Here we go, guys. Do this right here. Help them out, Cheryl.
Pampa me on, pampa me on.
All right. So another question. This is LB asking, is it okay to put oil on the scalp? We did address that earlier, and the answer is no. Do not put those oils on your scalp. It just makes its own oil, and it ain't doing nothing no kind of way, okay? Unless you're trying to cover like an ashy spot, for cosmetic purposes, something like that. But it ain't gonna do nothing, okay? So yeah, so once that hairstyle is done, you're gonna have to start all over, and you're gonna use a lot of product. That's why I'm a staunch proponent of the cold wave perms, because I'm cheap. I don't know how y'all spend all this money on these hair care products, but that's a whole nother podcast. So in the event, Cheryl, okay, you're right. It's gonna get all on our scalp. Here is a person who's recommending, I'll show these two back to back, okay, how to get this stuff off the scalp. So one is from a hairstylist, and the second one will be from a dermatologist. So we're going to do these back to back, guys. Here we go. First one, hairstylist.
To remove the buildup that's on the scalp when that's not the case. If you have buildup on the scalp, you need to make sure that you're lifting the buildup off the scalp. You don't have to comb it out. You just want to lift it up. Then you will go through and apply your medicated shampoos, or you'll be using your Soothe and Balance to help to get to the scalp level, to help reduce the inflammation, to also help to soothe the scalp from the inflammation, or to get rid of that itchy scalp. I go through my client's hair with a comb. I always like to use a fine tooth comb. You want to make sure that if you are lifting buildup off the scalp, you are not rubbing the teeth against the scalp. That is the easiest way to break the skin and cause additional irritation. You always want to make sure that if you are lifting buildup, you take your comb, you part it, open it up, lay your comb flush against the head. The teeth should be flush against the head, and you are scooping and lifting, not dragging. This is also the reason why a lot of you are still dealing with your scalp congestion, because you are not being consistent with.
All right, that's the cosmetologist with her scoop and apply, all this other good stuff. Now here's the dermatologist. Here she goes.
Hi, dermatologist here. Do you have a dry and itchy scalp just like this? It's a common mistake to think that flaky and itchy scalp is due to dryness of the scalp. Often a dry and flaky scalp is caused by overproduction of oil located near the hair follicles. It can also be caused by a medical condition called seborrheic dermatitis or psoriasis. Gentle exfoliation is key. I like to use the Inculus salicylic acid exfoliating scalp treatment. It's a lightweight serum that helps to gently exfoliate and control oil production to relieve dryness, itchiness, and flakes of the scalp.
Right. Okay. So the stylist is saying that now that you could very well have product buildup, but the dermatologist is saying you could very well have an overproduction of your sebaceous gland. You could very well have a scalp disorder. She's not recommending that you do this. She says you can use salicylic acid. The cosmetologist says if it's so thick, you're going to have something called scalp congestion. I don't like that word, okay? That's just key Lolo, okay? And to alleviate and remedy this scalp congestion, she's saying it's because you're not properly scooping this off of the scalp. And there's a method to removing this with a comb by not going back and forth, but scooping, and then you're going to apply the medication. So everybody out here who either has buildup from products or you have buildup from a scalp condition, Cheryl, take it away. This is going to be a little lengthy response because we got one more to go. So y'all take some notes and let's help our people out with how to deal with scalp flakes and an itchy scalp.
Product based on location don't behave different. So if it doesn't do that on the hair, it won't do that on the scalp.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. You done went there. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on.
What you talking about, Willie?
What?
Let me ask you a question. How often do you guys use lotion? You guys got lotion buildup?
I love this little motherfucker. This little motherfucker here. She gonna take me to the river.
Okay.
Do you get lotion buildup? Let's get that out the way. That's some deep shit to ask.
And the reason why I want to put it that way is because I want us to make sure that we are talking about the same thing. So in her concept, in the hairstylist first, in her concept, congestion. So she thinks that something like traffic, it's backed up, right?
Like a runny nose,
And
like a
right. Something's clogged. So that's where she's going. Okay. And I would probably say this to my hairstylist, but I'm gonna say it right now because me and Ladosha and we're ethical. We're ethical. And if I wanted to sell you another surface, because I wanted to sell you something else to get that's called a riff. And I am a hairstylist that would agree more with the dermatologist. Not because, and I believe me, I ain't no fan of no dermatologist getting into the hair in the salon world. I first want to say that. But one of the things that she mentioned is sebaceous. That's one thing she mentioned. Two, as I said, we have sebaceous gland, you have gland material, then you have a microbiome. You do have a microbiome, just like you have one in your gut. You do have one on the surface of the scalp. Okay? Right? Your body does secrete solids, fat, and then waste, right? Then water and sweat, right? And you have to determine skin, right? And dander, which is most time is just the issue. But all of that, if it doesn't normally come off the scalp, right, with water, then it wasn't water soluble. So you're not you messed up before you even put it on in the first place. So at the end of the day, us trying to medicalize it with all of this mumbo jumbo or cosmeceutical language, it's just at the end of the day, your product is not water soluble enough. But the problem is it doesn't happen on the strand, only happens on the scalp. So most time that is what we call dander. That is just a mix of scalp barrier, what we call skin cells at the end of the day. Hopefully you guys use water soluble, really good quality or water soluble conditioners and
so
things of that nature.
how can the consumer know the difference between dander and when you just put too much Shea Bonnet juice or cream on your hair and it's all on the scalp? Like, is there a difference between?
Well, shea butter,
I'm
butter,
saying,
Vaseline.
not shea butter, but you know the Shea Bonnet.
Yeah, just very fatty and water repelling type of greases, because of course, if they are designed to keep your hair in place, because I want you guys to understand, when you're getting into your Afro variation hair textures, those are not designed to ringlet. You have to set it like that. So the product that you get to set it like that is water repellent. That's why it wears off and you have to wash it off with a soap, because it's not naturally going to come off with just water. It's not going to, it doesn't have a natural osmosis. It does not solubilize in water. It's insoluble, if that makes sense.
So when you're looking at the scalp, right? Difference between dandruff and dandruff and product buildup is the hair care product will have a different look.
It's going to have a creamy, when you move it, it's creamy. Now, when the hairstylist is going to give you a clue, dandruff has to have what we call a little aggressive tug. Dander just needs movement. It's going to fly and it's going to get dusty. Dander is dusty. Dander actually is dry scalp. It's going to move and fly and be.
Okay, so let's back up. We're trying to give everybody a clear, distinct, the difference between dandruff, and product buildup. Let's give us a visual. Okay, so first, product buildup looks like.
Product buildup is easily movable. It's going to move, and you can rub it. It'll kind of spread on out, or you can pick it up, and you'll have this creamy feel.
Okay, there we go. All right. Okay.
It's going to be you can see actually remnants of it having a surfactants, should be greasy.
Okay. All right. And then dander is going to.
No matter what you do to the comb, it's going to go into the strands. It's going to be so light that you are going to, you can kind of fluff the hair and it'll fall.
Okay. All right. Okay. And then dandruff
is actually starting to become skin. So when you lift it and move it, you're going to see where that particular dandruff once was.
Okay. And then scalp congestion.
They call it scaly scalp is where you can see the holes in the skin, where that layer of skin, where the skin is actually coming up. Those are usually
scalp
very uncomfortable. Yeah. And I don't know if it's called scalp congestion. Sounds weird. It sounds goofy. And I don't like cosmetologists
so scalp congestion. Let me I'm just gonna get it out. Scalp congestion is the dumbest shit that people say.
It is the dumbest shit.
Hair, okay.
That right there is
shit. But that's the dumbest shit. So, but if you lift the scalp and you see the scale, the little holes that come with it, would that be, that's a scalp disorder, correct?
That is right. That is a layer of skin.
Is that your what does she call it? Seborrheic dermatitis? Is you're moving over into that type of situation?
No, because the seborrhea and it is about inflammation.
Okay.
And eczema is about proliferation.
Okay.
Those things are what we call conditions.
Okay. Here's a good question.
Now they are conditions, not and let me just, they're conditions because something is imbalanced, which can be solved. Diseases have what we have causes as well, but they are usually a mobile effect of something else going systemic.
Okay. All right. Don't be playing doctor, guys. Don't be playing doctor over there. Okay. All right. Okay. Next up, this is a good question. We get this all the time. Why does the scalp itch after a shampoo? I would like to answer that. Okay. So first, I want to say that is not normal. Okay. If your scalp itches after a shampoo, you got two reasons. One, it's still not clean, or two, you are allergic to it. Stop using it. Okay. It's not normal. When the scalp is clean, it's like your body. You just feel clean. If you put something on your skin and you lathered up, or your scalp, and you've done it a couple of times and everything, and the scalp looks and you're still itching, please, guys, this discontinue use. I swear it is on every single bottle. Discontinue use if you have any irritations. Don't try to justify this, okay? So Cheryl, what's your response to why does the scalp sometimes, I'll be washing my hair and it still itch?
Was it itching before? Or is it
No,
increased after shampoo?
all right. She wants to know, is the scalp the some timing? Is
I
that
haven't.
before?
I have something to say. I just wanted to ask that question.
Okay, so we'll wait for her to give a response to that. So while we're waiting for her to respond, is the itching worsening afterwards, or is the itching before you shampoo? Though you said, okay, she says it itches before too, but then after she shampooed, oh boy, she's like Shaggy DA over there.
Okay, I do have people who, after shampooing, it is what we call either two things: a histamine trigger, but the histamine is fake because it's nothing actually wrong, and two, you have to remember, hairstylists are accustomed and consumers are accustomed to doing this. They actually think the person is homeless, and then they got some layer of dirt that they think that they have to. I don't ever do that. Okay, I don't. I try, because what you're doing is that you're either triggering the mechanical sensory system, the nociceptors, okay, or a somatosensory. It's just an activity, because now that the water, and plus water tickles, depending on if you're sitting, and then you start going there, but it's usually a trigger, and then it fades after you blow dry and comb, and that scalp, you comb that scalp and you go like, oh my God, that feels so great. It's all sensory, and sometimes they get overactive.
All right. Okay, so there you have it.
Just
That's
in
why.
my opinion.
Okay, so that's another reason why your scalp could very well be itching after you have your shampoo. Now, this is our last one. Okay, and I forgot to do one petty thing for this idiot in office. I gotta get it out, y'all. I gotta get it out of my system. All right, big ups to the Ohio.
Yes.
With Miss Joyce. I had her name down in there, so I can't read it all. But she's from Ohio, and she is the politician who got the idiot's name. It says the woman who single-handedly brought down Trump's name is celebrating outside the Kennedy Center tonight. There it is. Rep. Joyce Beatty fought this alone when others stayed quiet, and the courts just delivered her the win. So let's go celebrate, Joyce. You earned this, and we do owe her, because man, that was a beautiful thing. I just had to get that out my system. All right. Okay, I digress. All right. But we won't digress. We want you guys to come back and join us on Thursday, especially if you're in the industry and you're struggling, you're trying to get some customers. We've got some help. Shirley and I, we kicked it off, but the one and only, the beauty industry impresario, yes, Ms. Jeanette Wright. We're not related to one another. She is of a spice of hair. Shirley and I, we met her a couple years ago in Houston, and she is phenomenal. She's going to be helping you guys understand the magic of rebooking and referrals when it comes to building your clientele. So let's get ready to welcome her this Thursday at 8:00 p.m. right here on America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. And this is the Afro Hair Science podcast. All right. Okay. So here's our last one, and we got about 10 minutes, good 10 minutes, y'all. We're doing really good here. Now, this one is about trichology. Trichology is the science or the study of scalp and hair. And a lot of times in the summer, people will say, I have exhausted my resources inside the hair salon. My dermatologist ain't quite getting it because they don't understand my hair. So I'm going to go and see a trichologist. So here is a trichologist treatment for scalp, not necessarily in the summer, but again, because it doesn't say that, but because we're addressing how to deal with scalp flakes, itchy, problematic scalps as we go on, here is a trichologist offering this solution to help with a scalp condition and also thinning, balding hair. Okay, here we go. There she is. She is right here on Instagram, and that is allegedly, supposedly, I did look it up. It's a special brush for, you know, exfoliating is what they're calling it. It is a scalp exfoliating brush. It looks like a toothbrush, and this is to help, you know, with dead skin and bringing blood to the surface. And in the summertime, people are definitely concerned about thinning and so on and so forth. So what's your take on exfoliating the scalp with the intent to, you know, remove dead skin cells and to bring blood to the surface for scalp concerns?
I want you guys to when you guys get done with this particular podcast, the follicle is an organ. The hair follicle is an organ, and it is governed by what we call cell signaling. There is something that we call mast cells, growth cells, cells there to stop it from growing, resting. It's a signal. And circulation is for the health around the tissue of the sac, of the follicle. It doesn't trigger growth. Blood does not trigger, circulation does not trigger growth. That is for communication, keeping the tissue healthy, for nerve endings and blood vessels and things of that nature. Keeping the tissue that the follicle sits in healthy, right? And so I want us to not fall for the conventional information that the circulation is vigorously going in there, moving, because the immune system is in charge, guys. The immune system they don't give a shit about your circulation. If that circulation triggers that immune system, it does it, because at that point, his DNA is going to dictate whether those follicles begin growth production again. They shut it down. The circulation didn't shut it down. Circulation is still in the skin is the way it was, unless you have some other circulatory scalp disorder or disease like cicatricial alopecia. But that's a whole nother thing. But he has in his DNA, he's balding. And so you can't really
when you say in
infiltrate that.
When you say in his DNA, are you mean like his genetics?
Right. In his coding, he's got it somewhere from his family line, because he's not balding. He's balding from the apex. And that is not necessarily a condition he's contracted or any. You understand what I'm saying? So we can't fall for the commercialization and marketing of this message. That's what we're trying to prevent you, because once again, Kilolo always trying to watch y'all pockets. She wants y'all to put them money into them enjoyment of your life and them tickets and concerts and wonderful food and nutrition,
And
things of
and
that
y'all go
nature.
see Usher. Y'all keep y'all money away from this stuff. Anytime something is talking about restoring, like she said, follicle restoration or hair
That's
or
snake oil.
follicle rejuvenation, it's an organ that falls under your it's part of your excretory system. This whole skin is designed to put stuff out, and whatever's happening with your hair from the why it turns gray, this is the epitome right now on this podcast. When I say the epitome of an example of DNA or genetic expression, there ain't Jack Ruby. And I do mean Jack. Y'all know I want to say some other words, but I ain't going to say it. There ain't Jack Ruby I can do about making this hair grow in, not gray. This is a genetic DNA assignment. So is the body. Someone asked for the post pictures, and here is what she posted. I don't care. You can call me whatever you want. First of all, those are not the same heads of hair. Those are two different people's heads. I'm sorry, maybe the way the picture is taken, but Cheryl, you can help.
Here's the thing. The same causation which made the hair begin to bald is a mechanism which she can't reach on the surface, because it's the underneath in terms of what we call the instructions of the immune system connected with his particular genetics, as Ladosha would stated. So you can't do anything topical to do something that the causation is within the system.
Right.
Because in order to reverse it, you have to get into the system which is causing the genes to express. And because there is nothing topically, I can only topically solve something that I cause cosmetically that has a cosmetic cause, which I can get to. I can reverse the pH, the temperature, the product usage, and things. So if something is caused conditionally by those things, then we can topically reverse it. But if something is systemic that I can't get to, right, then I can't solve it topically by moving and the circulation, because the circulation is not what caused his balding.
No.
If that makes
Yeah. And like I said, y'all can call me Petty Franklin. I'm gonna have to live with it. But to me, the head size, it could be the way the picture is taken, but it just looks like two different heads. The texture doesn't look the same. Anywho, so the young lady said, what do you think hair is gonna magically appear? And she says, you bald, right? So when I read that, I was like, oh, because here's what I do. I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. And I know when I say this, if y'all come after me, I'm just going to have to take it, Cheryl. Cheryl does not approve of this message. She ain't got nothing to do. I'm gonna go out here and just say it, okay? Now, I'm not saying that people who take care of scalps do not have scalp conditions. Like, I have a hair disorder. It's called conitis. This is gray hair. This is a disorder. I have it. It's genetically assigned. We just explained that. Okay. And just because my hair is gray does not mean that I can't color hair. All right. So I'm not saying that, but I will say that if you're going to someone who does this stuff, it is imperative. I repeat, let me get into my mic. ASMR. It is imperative that you look at their scalp and their hair or weave or wig. I repeat, it is imperative that you look at their scalp, their hair, their wig, or their weave. It is very telling. And that's the first thing I do. Anybody, I don't care if you, and I don't, y'all gotta look at hairstylists too. Look at them too. Look at all of us. At the dentist teeth, don't let dentists with crooked teeth with your teeth. Dermatologists, don't police officers pulling you over with their hat turned to the back. You better not roll that window down. Don't do it. Okay. So when I read that, I said, you bald. So let me go through her page and see what made Miss Aubrey say that. All right. So y'all know I did my little bootleg, So here is what I came up with. Thank you for asking, Kay. So here's what I saw. Here it goes. Certified trichologist. They have definitely created a space in the world of cosmetology focusing on scalp conditions. Okay. Now, this is a buyer beware moment. Not to say that trichologists do not have conditions with their scalp, okay, because they do. However, when the trichologists themselves are practicing on their scalp and their hair behaviors that contribute to the very scalp problems and conditions that they are trying to, prevent or treat, that becomes a problem. So when you're looking for these trichologists, not to say that they can't wear wigs and weaves, because they can, but if their behaviors are in the opposite of what they are telling you guys not to do to your scalp and your hair, well,
The dumbest shit people say about black hair.
and when you look on the page, she inconspicuously puts her graphics to cover her hair. Now, Charlotte and I, we're very transparent about our hair, our scalp hair, even our damn house shit. Y'all see every damn thing. I ain't living in no damn mansion. I'm a hairstylist. I'm a working stiff. I pay my bills. My damn cell phone bill due, as a matter of fact, before I lose some internet connection. Okay. Y'all done seen me wash my hair. Y'all let my gray grow in. People all on my shorts. You need to color that shit. I'm here for it. That ain't cute. I'm human. I am not your superwoman, but I'm here to tell you I am ethical. Remember Della Reese? And she said, I ain't no thief. She said, she ain't no dumb hoe. She ain't no thieving hoe. Okay. She a whole bunch of things. But and that was in what was the movie? Harlem Nights. I mute your mic, Cheryl. And Della Reese said, I ain't no dumb hoe. You got to watch out, guys, because that speaks in volumes. And so I don't know who she is in her work. She's got a hell of a following here on Instagram. And I'm just concerned that, you can see the progression of her hair, her own hair, began to just deteriorate. And it could be because she, like Cheryl said, she has some genetic stuff. And anything that you have genetically going on, it ain't much nobody, not even a doctor. There ain't much we can do except cosmetically offer you a solution. In some instances, there are some surgical options. But in her case, and I don't know her, but if I just went on lookership, she's caused herself a whole bunch of problems. Her coloring technique is way off. The stuff that she's doing to her hair and her scalp, it just wasn't looking good. You can go check her out for yourself. But her work on the patients, that it looks pretty good. I mean, people like her, so obviously what I got to say don't count. But this is just for you guys. Watch out, pay attention. If I call myself a colorist, then it's imperative that I have color treated hair. You don't want my hair all looking all crazy. You know what I'm saying, Cheryl? She's a cosmetic trichologist, and she got little, corns and stuff all on her collar and shit, Hell no. She got her eyebrows. She over there, scrubbing on her eyebrows and talking hair with bag wigs and stuff. There's too much information, you know. It's a way to wear a wig. Look at Mighty Aphrodite. You know, you got to rock it like that. You know, you can't be having no wig all half crocked and you see the black glue and shit. But you know, to each his own. So that's just the buyer beware as we wrap this up. It's Monday night trivia. Okay. So here is some trivia. We just gonna make sure you guys are rocking it out with us. Cheryl gave us a little tip earlier in the conversation about some the orientation is about some do's and some don'ts. So in the spirit of some hair trivia, what did she say water cannot do to hair? Okay, we want to make sure y'all got this, okay? Because the water plays a very important role into the scalp scaling and flaking and itching. But what did she say that water cannot do to hair, no matter what y'all keep hearing out here? She said, y'all got to walk away with this because y'all got to dry this water. You cannot leave that hair wet. When the water dries up, you're going to have some residue left behind. Woo, this chat is lit. Good Lord. I'm sorry, y'all. I went on my rant. I'm so sorry, Cheryl. That's 1,000. Jesus, I'm sorry. We got to get us an assistant. I know we can. I'm like, we trying to help y'all out, okay? Sure. I'm sorry, we can. What's up, Sir Pooh? Sir Pooh, no. Sir Pooh, no. He know I'm telling the truth. Sir Pooh, Sir Pooh, get your ass in the chat right quick. You know what I'm saying? Sir Pooh will tell y'all. He know I'm saying it's true. Or you could just say something. For real, y'all. You know. Anywho. Sorry, not
water.
sorry.
Water doesn't neutralize. Water actually doesn't even clean. Actually, water. That's why you see a stain and it'll be just a little bit of spaghetti sauce on the carpet. You pull water on that stain will be this big by the time you mess around with water. Water just spreads things around. Doesn't really help you in terms of, but I don't know what Kilolo has got for the trivia question, but water is
That was
not
a trivia. The trivia was to ask them does anybody remember what water cannot do to hair? That's a trivia question. And Sir Pooh, if you could just give me an amen when I say you got to look at that stylist and that trichologist hair and scalp. Look at their hair and scalp. You know, and I have a little hair on my clothes now. Don't get it twisted now. But listen, I ain't even look like damn Shaggy DA. I'm just saying, okay. And you know, if you got dandruff, you're gonna have some flakes. Shit, that's just it. It is what it is. Okay.
But right. But in addition to that thought, you guys have dandruff and getting and having a beautiful scalp is making sure that you don't send an injury to the immune system. That's number one. Number two, that you don't go in there aggravating it and scrubbing it and all that good stuff. Make sure that you adjust the pH and make sure that you have a great pH. And the only thing you can really do that is to choose a hairstylist. I will be very honest. Use a hairstylist that understands pH. Okay? And they're going to take you through a series of probably pH changes, but they're going to make sure that you have one that is conducive to comfortability. But above all else, we have to understand the wound healing process. Because my sister, all of a sudden, guess what she's been doing? My sister's been going to the $5 store and she loves buying costume jewelry. Costume jewelry do not agree with her skin. And so it hates it. Oh my God. And it had traveled up her neck, behind her ears, because you know bacteria, they're so smart. They love to get creases, right? So it moved right up there, and then it moved to her forehead. So anyway, so what I decided to do is to do the Willie Morrow thing. You know, I know what to do. Okay. Especially with some vitamin C and stuff like that, right? So I did that thing. And so her supervisor called. Oh my God, you know, and just make sure because it seems like it's really uncomfortable. Blah, 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 blah. So, and I said, we're going to get rid of that. That will not happen again. And I will get rid of it within a week. Anyway, make a long story short, but what can't I do? I can't speed up. I can take care of the proliferation of it, the spreading of it. I can take care of the redness and the itchiness, but I can't rush the wound healing. And guess what the wound healing part is? Flakes. Because now the skin is healing.
Right.
See, you guys want to dig it up. You can't dig a scab up until it's ready to come off. But we want to dig up the scab.
Word.
And all scabs are what first?
Wet.
Liquid.
And liquid. Yeah. Come on now. Y'all remember when y'all was kid, that little red stuff? Y'all remember that little, we put that red shit everywhere. Ain't that right, Sir Pooh? Sir Pooh from down the way. We put that red stuff everywhere.
And what is a scab? If it's liquid first, what is a scab? It's a factory. It's got enough proteins in it. It's got some minerals in it. It's got everything to cover, put a dome. And the little factory is weaving everything together. Blah, blah, blah. Luckily, hopefully, you get the color back. But if you don't get the color back, you have a little mark where you had a little boo-boo. But this is what the scalp is, a factory. Okay? So it's got all types of wonderful triglycerides on it. It's got sebaceous gland, got all kind of factories, got the right bacteria. So that is why, because we understand that, hey,
all right,
we're gonna have to have conditioners just to feed that microbiome.
Okay, so the trivia, the question was, what did Cheryl say water cannot do? And WeK took the bold step and said it cannot hydrate or moisturize. Why? Why can it not do that? Okay, I'm going to help y'all out because we got to get up out of here, because water cannot be absorbed into the hair. It can permeate. You know, you get some permeation, but it's not going to penetrate or absorb. I don't care what they tell you. It's just wet. The dumbest shit that people say about black hair is that water is going to, you know, hydrate, moisturize, because it can't penetrate. So you're right. Thank you so much, WeK. It cannot happen. Thank you, Sir Pooh, for giving me an amen on that. I appreciate it. He just said he agreed with me. You guys have to look at these people. Look at Sir Pooh. Let me just put his picture up here, right? All right. So y'all look at Sir Pooh. All right. Sir Pooh, he look like he know. Look at that shit. Okay. You want him up like that to do your hair. You don't want, did y'all see that lady here? You don't want nobody. Come on now, dog. Come on now, man. You don't want these type of people in your hair. It's called too much information. So when the lady made the comment, you bald, I was like, oh, because I was thinking the same thing. Like, you know, in her video, I'm like, how you giving all this advice and your hair kind of jacked up, boo? But I don't think that they are expecting, you know, people to say anything about that, because it's hard to, you know, say to, you know, Ladosha, you know, your hair, you know, you ain't, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, hairstyle, we get red all the time. Customers, they tell us our breath stank. I don't like what you did to my hair. You know, I'm not beating up on the lady. I'm sorry, I'm not beating up on her. The lady I said she do good stuff. I'm just saying that her personal practices with her hair, it's a contrast to the message that she's sending. Her scalp does not have to look like that. Her hairstyling, no, that ain't gonna work. She need to go see Sir Pooh. If something happened to my hair, y'all know I'm gonna be like, Pooh. And listen, I'm gonna tell the truth, Pooh, you right here. Now I tell y'all all the time, I'm a hairstylist. I cannot do hair. I can wash it, I can straighten it out. Ain't nobody coming to me with no damn hairstyle. They coming to Sir Pooh. And I didn't rap. I didn't know how to wrap my own hair. I'm telling the truth. So what did I do? I paid Sir Pooh ass to come over there and teach us how to do it. That's what he do. And anybody in the industry be like, well, I don't know how. Y'all better cough up them dollars and let Sir Pooh come into your space and help you. And Sir Pooh, he walked in. Sir Pooh bringing a whole crew. He was doing a fashion show. Like, I got to do this fashion show, but I'm going to help you out. I said, well, bring him on up here. And he got me to I didn't get it in one take. You know what I'm saying? He had to teach me, you know? So, because that's very, very, very important. So I'm not trying to beat up on her. I'm just teaching you guys that you have to look at that because that's speaking in volumes of credibility. And so, Miss, I forgot what her name is. If I sound like I'm beating up on you, I apologize and thank you, for pointing that out. Okay, like, oh, you just being ratchet. I'm sorry, Kay, give me a chance. Kay, don't leave me, Kay. It'll be better. I'm gonna do better. Okay, all right. I think we did a good job. By the way, this situation is so out of hand. People are starting to complain that hairstylists are charging all this money. Y'all ain't doing nothing for us. So I decided to do a Substack, and I titled it "You could pay more, but why?" A salon visit. It's a little play, a little parody on Remember Pay Less Shoes. Okay. I'm going to put the link to the Substack in the chat, post it live. I'm going to pin it and save it here for you guys. And I want you guys to check it out. And also don't forget, please do the survey. Some of y'all ain't did it yet. Okay. I'm going to keep begging y'all till y'all do it. Okay. All right. Make sure y'all do that survey. All right. So I've pinned it there. There it is. It's pinned in the chat. Okay. Cheryl, close us out with this, how to deal this summer with scalp flakes, itching. And y'all want y'all weave, y'all better go see Sir Pooh too, by the way. Y'all let Sir Pooh hook y'all.
I got one simple hack. Okay.
Ooh, hack.
If you are in the summer, okay, and you have, a little more heat and hot and sun usually makes, raises your blood pressure and get lots of swelling and water retention, things of that nature. I'm going to give you a hack. Okay. And I don't know how you guys may feel about it, but if you have because this actually was fix the itch, right? I actually do like cold scalp therapy. Slows down the circulation, kind of calm down the nerve endings. Okay. Some people use what we call a cool cap. And that's usually for chemo patients, but it just calms everything down. And I like to also do the cold scalp. Just really restrict the blood flow. It kind of calms everything down. And so make sure that you getting into salt water. Salt water raises the pH to about 8.5, 9. Okay, want to take a shower, you go in the beach water. Chlorinated water is acidic. So you got to take another shower to take the pH scalp back to normal. But do dry the scalp. Take 7 minutes, 2 minutes per layer. Cool air, not hot. Cool air. Or you can just turn the blow dryer actually on cool to cool the scalp, because that is usually work for me and my clients. I always use my cool button.
Yeah, I swear by the cool button. That's why I like that Rev. Everybody like, I don't like the Rev Air, costs too much money. The Rev Air is cooler. It is worth it. I'm just saying, if not, use that blow dryer on cooler. Y'all ain't got to just blast that thing up on. Even when I'm training, I tell all the stuff. It don't have to be. The blow dryer ain't gonna straighten it no damn way. So y'all can turn that shit down. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. Sorry, Kay. It doesn't have to be up. It's not gonna straighten the hair anyway. I use cooler heat. Sometimes you got to turn it up just to kind of soften it. But anywho, yeah. So cooler is where it goes. Cheryl, thank you so much. You guys have been dynamic. Don't forget, we are going to be here this Thursday with the lovely Jeanette. And so we're going to be talking about helping you guys get more clientele.
That is the booked up blueprint series.
Right, that's our series. That is our series. So get ready to join Miss Jeanette on Thursday. Y'all let the cosmetologists know and the barbers know that we're here. Again, don't forget to hit that hype button, hit that thumbs up button. We need more people to know who we are. Everybody loves the content. We see it in the chat. A lot of people say this podcast should have a lot more views, but we can't get more views if you guys don't hit the thumbs up button and you don't share the content. So we appreciate you guys. So hit that thumbs up, heart button, wherever you're at. All right. I think that's it. You know what we say when we're signing out? We talk about a whole lot of peace, right? For sure. A whole lot of love, right? I can never get my heart right. I'm gonna get it right one day, okay? A whole lot of love and a whole lot of hair. And remember, if you ain't got none, you don't want none, you can't send it. Y'all better go see Sir Pooh ass. Get y'all together. Don't come see me. I can't help you. I can't do nothing for you, man. I'm learning how to do short hair using the Rev Air Mini Edge. Y'all got the little tiny pencil flat iron. So I'm trying to teach myself how to curl some hair. I might be calling up Sir Pooh. He's like, damn, don't you go somewhere and sit down. So I'm going to have Sir Pooh come and teach me, and y'all going to watch me learn how to do this live. How about I do that, okay? And I'm going to pay him, too, right there in front of y'all face. Pooh going to be like, don't you put my money out there on blast, okay? So that's it. If you ain't got it, remember, guys, bald heads are beautiful, too, and all that good stuff. Sure, I love you very much. Go ahead. Was that it? You have one more thing to say? Anything?
No. And you are too.
All right. Okay, y'all. Is that what you're letting us say? All right. Okay. Don't forget now, y'all need some help with that education. I'm gonna close it out with our commercial for our upcoming Dr. Willie Morrow online Afro Hair Academy. All right. It's only gonna be $165. It's going down starting Sunday, October the 11th here on Zoom on the platforms here. Okay, it's going to be online. All right, guys, y'all have a wonderful night. Here goes the commercial. Shameless plug. What's up, my fellow hair professionals? This is your girl, Ladosha Wright, aka Key Lolo. Welcome to the Willie Morrow Afro Hair Science Academy. This is not textured education. This is educational legacy. Finally, a legacy system of coils, chemistry, and high styling skills engineered over 63 years, perfected through ancestral knowledge and extensive research. From the legacy of Willie L. Morrow to the future of global beauty intelligence. We study it, we honor it, we master it, starting in October 2026. Register now at afrohairscience@gmail.com. Afro Hair Science, not a trend, a discipline. You're gonna get schooled.